All right, everyone's in their positions. You can lay however you want, but normally we put the pillow underneath our knees. That takes pressure off your knees and low back and your hips, basically all of your joints in the lower body. And then the head rests on the pillow, on the blanket, sorry. It's neck, top of the shoulders, and the head usually on the blanket. I have the room pretty warm right now. It's 86.5. I can go up or down. You guys tell me what you prefer. Your eyes are closed. Hands off to the side or on your belly. We'll start off with some slow, deep breathing. This will be a slower flow. If you want to stay longer in any of the poses, please do. If you want to change one of the poses, please do. If you feel like you need to throw in a couple push-ups or something random, please do. So I'm going to give you a template, a blueprint, a very basic house design, and then I want you to start adding in your own little textures, your own personalities to your flow. Okay? Have an intention of what you want to get out of class, and usually that's what brought you to class today. To feel better, to feel balanced, to kickstart your 2021 fitness goals, whatever brought you here, keep it in mind as you do your workout, or your flow, sorry. I was looking up workout music, trying to find my playlist. All right, so you're gonna take a deep breath in through the nose, in through the throat, in through the chest. Exhale, let it go. Feel the belly rise, feel the belly fall. Inhale, feel the belly rise. Inhale, let it fall. And then throughout class today, let's keep our poses, our movement synchronized with our breath. Okay? But always add in your own thing. Go ahead and open your eyes. Begin to stretch the arms overhead. Hug the knees into the chest. And just kind of rock side to side a little bit and do some circles. So you have that bone at the base of your spine. Imagine you're trying to roll circles around that sacrum. That's that flat bone. Go different directions if you are. And then you can slide your pillow out to the side. We'll get rid of it. We'll be using it until the end of class. And then do a full body stretch here. Point the toes and reach out through the fingertips. Then flex the toes. Toes pull towards the kneecap. Heels push towards the mirror front of the room. And then bring your arms to cactus arms. So you feel your shoulder blades and your elbows and the back of your palms. You're going to feel your chest open. Try to let your hands rest on the floor. Your arms rest on the floor. Some moves will feel awkward and foreign. Some will feel great. These are all movements that your body is able to do, but listen to it. If it starts to feel sharp, not right, it's not. Then reach your arms back overhead. We're going to do a banana shape. So you're going to grab one wrist, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to slide into banana shape. Imagine you're flat up against the floor or a mirror, as my case is. Then walk your feet also over to the side. Feel a contraction in the ribs that are squeezing together, but feel length on the other side of the body. And take a deep breath in and flat out those side ribs. Exhale, pull them in. You're opening lines of energy right here. Do one more. Inhale. Squeeze it out. Exhale. Taking your time. Pull your banana shape to the other side. So start to side bend. If you have a lot of range of motion in your shoulders, you can always grab your elbows. Cross an ankle over the other, maybe that feels better. Take a couple of breaths right here. out of the pose. Bring your right knee to your chest. Squeeze it in. Okay, we're gonna do happy baby, half happy baby. So I like to grab the outside of my foot. Then I'm gonna bring a laying down. I'm gonna bring the knee out to the side of my shoulder and imagine the foot is flat up against the ceiling. Outer hip, inner hip, thigh, groin, low back. All of that mid-body section is feeling it. And then lengthen the leg towards the sky a little bit and lower all the way to the floor. And half happy baby the other side. So if you're able to, grab the outside of the foot. Your knee drops out to the side. Pull the knee towards the armpit. Imagine the foot is flat up against the ceiling. Take a couple breaths. From here, straighten that leg, but don't drop it down. Lift that leg to the sky, arms out to a T. Let's make this a twist. Gently turn the face. Feel that stretch in the neck. Pinch my shoulder blade. It's gone into my neck today. Breathe into that. I'm sure that would feel good if I just do it. And then you're going to come out of the pose and twist to the other side. You want to try, if it's there for you, keep your shoulder blades down and your hips stacked. Okay? I would say if you can't do both, either pick the shoulders or pick the stacking of the hips. Stretch the neck by looking away from that foot. And release. All right, go ahead and take your time coming into an upright position. We'll move the blanket and the pillow. Blanket and pillow to the back of the mat so we can grab it at the end of class. Blocks are at the top of your mat, so they're ready for us. We're going to do a lengthening posture, so we're going to sit in an easy seat, whatever is comfortable for you, arms reach up. Interlace the fingers to help pull up. Right, so pull down through the low back. So I'm trying to actually tuck my belly into my spine. It's tucking my tailbone under, right? That's going to give me some length in my low back right there. And then find an upright twist. Backhand helps lengthen, twisting from the chest and the neck. Letting your face look back behind you. Come back to center. Let's do another lengthening right here. Feel just what it is like to tuck the tailbone and then push the tailbone back and forth, right? Just notice what stretches you feel. And then find a twist. Sitting up nice and tall. Rotate. Let's come into hands and knees. Find a nice, comfortable position. Okay, if it hurts your knees, put a blanket underneath it. Hands are going to spread like starfish. We're going to round our back. Nice and slow. Space out the shoulder blades. Put space in the mid-spine. Tuck the tailbone under, right? So the tailbone starts to pull towards the face. Chin up to chest. Really, really round this back right here. Then come to neutral, flat back. Then drop the belly down, heart forward. I want you to do a couple slow like this. Some of you, now switch. Some of you are going to keep going slow like this. Some of you might go a little faster. I want you to do 6 sets. So try inhaling belly down, exhale belly up. Inhale belly down. And then wherever your knees are, try going just a tiny bit wider. Just do a couple that way. And you may not like that. You may want to go back to where your knees were. But it's going to change the mobility in your spine. Okay? And whenever you're ready, don't rush it. You're going to come up into a very bent leg down dog. Don't let your wrists hurt, especially if you're coming back into yoga or you're new to it. Lots of people like to dump into their wrists. So you're going to actually push away your hips with your knuckles and your fingertips, pushing your hips high into the sky, keeping your knees bent. Push into your knuckles, push into your fingertips. And then if you have one of our big blankets, you want to switch to either a yoga towel or no blanket, that's fine, because these are slippery. Or you want the yoga towel. I'll give you some just in case. Okay, then bend one knee, straighten the other. I cannot give you everything. You know I wish I could. I'm so hard at the moment. So if you guys want these, I'm so hard. Back and forth, feeling that in your calves. Call this walking the dog. We'll do this again in class. Then we're going to start to step our feet forward. You're going to be in this forward fold for about 9 breaths. It's about a minute. So I don't want you to feel much of a stretch here. All I want you to do is get used to your head dropping down. You can fold your elbows, or you can let your hands just dangle. With your head upside down, stay here. You're bowing down to this, okay? I'm not trying to force anything at all. You're going to take 6 more breaths. Right down. Do it all in the name of fun. Whoa, I'm so high at the moment. I'm so cold I can ignore. Yeah, we're just young and low, but we still got love. You probably think that you can now. You're gonna roll all the way up to the side. Big stretch at the top. Hands to heart center. You're going to take a quick mountain pose. So you let your feet be about double fist distance apart. Turn your palms open to the sky. Everyone will close their eyes so you won't really notice no one's going to look at what you're doing. With your eyes closed, I want you to play with tucking the tailbone under and then kind of letting it go. So if you push the tailbone back and upwards toward the sky behind you, you feel that arch in your back. That's what will happen when you do your back bends, right? When you draw the tailbone towards the front of the room, you feel the belly pull in, and that stretches your low back out, right? So just kind of pay attention to that when you're doing your postures, how you want your pelvis to be. You don't want to be over on either one, okay? Somewhere in the middle. Open your eyes when you're ready. Big stretch to the top. That's our inhale. Exhale, we fold out. Slide halfway. We're going to go up and down a few times. Slide halfway. Push those shin bones back. Really stretch. Exhale, forward fold. Belly in and up. Drop the head. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Exhale, exhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, halfway. Push those shin bones back, forward fold. Place those hands down, step back to downward dog. Here's our mini flow that we'll do throughout class. Slide into a plank of choice. I'm doing modified for a couple rounds to show. Knees I'm going to drop. Remember I'm modifying, drop to your belly. Use your hands, just a little bit of hand strength, not much. Arm strength, push up to a baby back bend. Feel the tailbone. Push back into downward dog. Kind of for the next one that we'll do together, notice the tailbone, the shape of it. Here we go. Slide into plank. Neutral tailbone. Drop the knees or lower down into plank. Find a back bend pose. The belly is pulling to the spine. That's going to stretch your low back out. Push back into downward dog. Without me talking and directing you, do one more on your own here. This time, I'm telling you that we control is good, the attention is good, the breath is really, really good. Good. All right. Adjust your hands as necessary. We're going to lift the right leg into the sky. We're going to bend the knee. That's going to help open up our hip here. You can look around. I don't teach squaring off the shoulders. I want mobility in the hips, in the shoulders, in the knee, and the ankle. When you're ready, step your foot to your thumb. We're going to warm up with some lunges here. So you're going to place your hands on the blocks unless you don't need them. Long arms is fine, maybe you don't need them. And you're just going to go into a nice deep lunge. Okay, I'm not too focused on form right now because a lot of weight isn't in the knee. If it is, if your knee is hurting you, I want the knee back behind the ankle. I want you to walk your back foot back and focus on stretching that back thigh. Focus on that back thigh. So you feel that lengthening, that pulling from the hip bone to the top of the thigh bone. That's our inhale here. Then we're going to go ahead and straighten the front leg. Not a lot, but enough to feel it. But I want you to lift up through those toes. Okay? The front toes. So that you can feel this in the lower leg. And then you're going to lift halfway so your back is parallel to the floor. Pull your right hip back and stretch your chest towards the front of the room a lot. You should feel that a little differently. I want you to just hang out there in that tight spot that you feel, whether it's in the calf or it's in the back. Hang out there. Take a few breaths. So range of motion happens in the joints, right? But we're going to feel it in the muscles. All right, slide back into a downward dog. You can just take a down dog and hold it, or you can slide into a plank. I'm just doing a non-modified version right now. Lower to your belly. Little baby back bend, not much, just enough to warm up the spine. Push back into downward dog. All right, when you're ready, pushing into knuckles, pushing into finger pads, like you're pushing your hips to the wall behind you. Lift your left leg up, bend your knee, and then work the mobility in the hip right here, and the ankle. Okay, stay as long as you want in this pose. This is one of my favorites. When you're ready, you'll step forward and end up in a lunge. I'm going to keep using my blocks. I want space between my belly and my thigh. That's me, right? It's going to give me more space, more stretch right here. Okay. You can have blocks higher if you need. So say coming down that nose too tight today. I can be here. What I want you to do is focus on the right front of the thigh, the flexor, the quad. Wherever you feel it, just hang out there. You're really flexible. I want you to work on the strength of the posture. It'll be a lot of work if the tension is right. Okay? Then we're going to slowly straighten that front leg, lift the front foot, pull those toes back towards the knee. Two calf muscles in the lower left leg. I want you to feel that tug, that tension, that load. And back flat, parallel to the floor-ish, parallel-ish. Pull your chest forward. Pull your left hip back. There it is. Feel that. With your blocks, if you have them, we're going to turn sideways on our yoga mat. I'm just going to show you with my blocks, okay? So when your toes turn in slightly, imagine your inner thighs pulling towards the room by the wall behind you. That's an internal rotation. It's going to allow more flexibility in the spine, in the hip area. So we're going to start to fold. If you don't want to use the blocks, that's fine. Just move them out of the way a little bit. Keep pressing into the balls of the feet and the heels equally. Okay, and don't overstretch. Just feel it. Say hello to it. We're going to play with this here. You're going to lift halfway up. That's your inhale. Exhale. You're going to go into it a little bit. We'll do a nice slow flow here. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, slow down. Inhale, halfway lift. That's the lengthening. And then exhale, fold. Hang out here. If it's feeling like it's really, really tight, there's options here. Bending the knees. So really try to turn those toes inward towards each other, okay? That's going to help the fold. All right, let's do a twist while we're here. So blocks or no blocks, both hands are on the floor underneath the shoulders. You can slide the right hand more under the face, and we're going to open up the left arm to the sky. We're going to feel a nice rotation in the upper spine, shoulder blades, chest, top shoulder. Look up if you can. Take this top hand and try to reach it over. I have to turn my face. Reach it over your ear. If it doesn't work, that's okay. Then bring it back down, switch hands. Place the left hand under the face area. Right hand floats up. I want you to do the same. Sure, you're gonna feel it. And then maybe you could play with reaching the arm over the ear for a different stretch here. Come out of the pose. We're gonna take both hands, walk it over to the left foot, left ankle, left calf, whatever. Round down through the legs, just like you did earlier, but now you're pulling your chest, your belly, your ribs, and your face towards one leg. The stretch has now moved into your outer thigh. So your hamstrings are on the outer thigh. Hold it here just a little tiny bit longer. Walk it over to the other side. I'm trying to pull the belly first. Okay, my face will be the last to that I even worry about getting to the shin. Right? It's the belly. That's where the intensity is, right? When I close the gap in that area, not how close my face is to my leg. Then come out of the pose, hands go on the floor. You can take your blocks back if you want to. End up in a forward lunge. Blocks to the side, downward facing dog. You can take a break, child's pose or something else, or do a little flow. Vinyasa, series of linked poses that allows energy to flow through the body. I'm not going to do the forward fold, so because I've already stretched your hamstrings enough. So from here, lift the right leg into the side. Bend your knee over your hip. If your wrists are bugging you, walk your hands back until you don't feel at the wrist anymore. Flex the foot instead of pointing it, and see about the heel coming like a centimeter closer to your butt. Maybe the knee can lift a tiny bit higher into the sky. Maybe you want to drop it all the way back into a back bend pose. You don't have to do it this. Okay, to get into that pose, you want to bend both knees so you have rotation in the lower spine. Flip out of the pose whenever you're ready if you did it. Let's take our right foot and step it back to our thumb. Put your back heel down on the earth. Your entire back foot is on the ground and your hips have opened up a little bit. Roll up into warrior one. Don't square your hips here. Your knee will not like it. Your back knee will not like it. You can square off your chest. Okay, you bring your hands behind the back and let's just stretch right here. So whatever feels good. It could be up, down, it could be the back bend, it could be more tailbone tucked under. I'm just gonna have you hold it right here. So just notice the back leg, the front leg, the shoulders and the tailbone. Notice the back foot, the front foot. And then arms back up to the sky. Okay, now lift up on your back tiptoes. Turn the toe. Sink deeper into a lunge. We were doing this earlier, but we had blocks. Now bring your hands to heart center and twist it out. Hands can stay at heart center. They can open up like airplane wings. You can do a different pose. Hold it here. So this is about strength here in the lower body. Stretch in the top part. Okay, both hands come to the ground. Okay, we're gonna drop the back knee and I'm bringing you into pigeon. It's weird to do it in the beginning of class, but we're going there. So little pigeon pose. And then sink down. So if you want to, you can always put a blanket underneath your right butt cheek or a block. If you're feeling a stretch in the butt and it's not hurting your front knee and back knee, then stay. If it's hurting any of your joints, I want you to change the pose. And then eventually try to put your forehead down on the mat or the block. Okay? Most of us lower our head way too much and just work at overstretching the back of our neck. I'm just going to hang out here. We're going to do it for a minute. Okay, if you're very flexible, like I always say, your goal in yoga isn't to get more stretch. Your goal will be to find balance. Okay? You're really, really strong. Your goal isn't to get necessarily stronger, it's to find balance. So find that balance between mobility and strength so that you can do the things you love. Do them injury-free and be able to do them for a long time. Keep breathing in pigeon pose. Relax the head and the neck. Come up with the head and chest. If you have the block, scoot it off to the side, slide out of the pose. You can either pull yourself just up into hands and knees and shake out that right leg, or you can go a little bigger and do the same in downward dog. But I want that hip to move. When you're ready, bend the knee and draw circles with the knee. And feel that hip rotation, that ball and socket rotation. Switch directions and feel that. Right? Feel all that mobility you have in your head. Then bring the foot down and find downward dog. Okay, little calf stretch. Walk your hands back a little bit. Bend your knees a lot. Hips stay really, really high. Pull your chest to your thighs. So try to get your chest to touch your thighs, but let your butt be really high. And then leave everything there except now straighten your legs. Push your heels back. Feel that in the lower legs. Right, find just a regular downward dog for you. Left leg lifts into the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Flex the foot, just for something different. That's going to tighten your hamstrings. You have better quad stretch. Maybe the knee can lift a little higher. And maybe you can jump into our back leg pose. If you're haven't done this pose a lot, very, very, very important you have knees bent. Okay, come out of the pose. Your left leg is back into the sky, and you're going to find pigeon pose. No, you're not. Sorry. Don't do pigeon. We're going to step the foot to the thumb. Oh, man, I caught myself. Okay. Right foot is back. The whole entire right foot is on the earth. Now press down to roll up. Activate those leg muscles. Keep activating them all the way up. Here's our warrior one. So just for a second, kind of notice the form. I'm totally blocking you. Are you okay? Okay. So watch that front knee. And then let's make cactus arms that we did on the floor earlier. So we're going to feel that stretch all right here. Shoulder blades. Spread those fingers. We'll help our wrists and our carpals. Hands back up. Okay, now lift on the back toes. Do a pivot. Sink into a lunge. Put hands to heart center. Also engage this part of your body, right? Like a girdle muscle. With the engagement of the girdle muscle, we're going to twist. If you want to open up the palms, you can. And hold it here a couple of breaths. Strength in the bottom part. Softness in the face. Both hands come down. Drop the back knee. Now let's do pigeon pose. Walk the foot over. You were here for a minute, so I want you to get really comfortable. But you can have, there's this saying I always say, growth and comfort cannot coexist. However, they can with the right mentality, right? So you can be very uncomfortable in a yoga pose. You could be like kind of fighting it, have a lot of tension. But then you can also accept that this is where you're supposed to be. So maybe it's discomfort and peace, or discomfort and satisfaction. Just kind of stay here. Breathe. Only goals you have are to feel something. And if that's happening, you're doing it right without hurting yourself. Keep breathing in through the nose. Out through the nose. Mind remembers memories and events, feelings and sensations. Our body remembers events and memories and feelings and sensations. A couple more breaths. Pigeon pose. You're going to take your time coming out, hands and knees, with the left knee bent, shaking it, and then some circles or downward dog. So just roll some circles, and find some mobility in your left. Your knee bent will create more movement. Hop, hop. We'll take downward dog. Drop to hands and knees. Drop to a puppy dog pose. So this is downward dog on the knees. The butt stays high. The heart drops, but only the forehead touches the yoga mat. If you are super, super flexible where the chest is really low to the mat, then what I want you to work on is drawing that belly button up and getting less of a curve in your low back. Some of you might just want to leave the hands where they are. Some of you might want to leave only the elbows on the floor. Bring the fingertips to the sky, palms touch. Or hands on your back. Wherever you're feeling it, even just leaving the elbows on the mat, but kind of wiggling them just a hair forward will change everything. And make sure the chin is not squished into the chest so the airway is open. Airways are open. Just breathe right here. Big full breaths into the pelvis. That's the inhale, going down into the pelvis. Exhale, pushing it up like an elevator, lifting up towards the sky, towards the top of the building. Come back into hands and knees. One more shoulder stretch before we do a little more flow. Thread the needle pose. Right arm extends out parallel to the floor. There's always this option for a twist. My right hand can lift to the sky if I wanted to. Eventually, I'm going to slide it through behind. I'm going to put the weight onto the top of the arm. I'm still in puppy dog form, right? So my butt is still up. If it hurts my shoulders, butt goes back. I'm demonstrating. Left hand rests on your back or pulls up to the sky. If it is going towards the sky, your palms should be facing the three little windows on the side of the room. There's also pulling your fingertips towards the mirror, resting on. Variations. Don't get caught up in the embellishment or what the pose looks like. What's your goal here? To create some space in the back of the shoulder and a little mobility in the shoulder joint. Take a breath in, just to remind yourself not to hold your breath. Breathe it out. Elevator pushing from the pelvis up to the top of the neck, out through the nose. Come out of your pose. Let's do a few rounds of cat and cows to reset our spine. So whichever one you want to do first is fine. Remember, belly down is the inhale. Chin up. Exhale, chin tucked. Imagine that we took a piece of wire and we twisted it. And then we untwisted it now. We're doing some cat and cows to kind of get that back into a nice neutral piece of wire again. Okay, when you're ready, thread the needle other side. Extension, possibly a lift. Threading through. Shoulder, arm, hand in. So many options. Keep the weight on the shoulder. Relax the hand that's resting on the floor, the one you're staring at. Just relax those fingers, the hand, the wrist, the forearm. Ready, come out. A few more rounds of cat and cows. As many as you want, and then meet me in down dog. And just do a couple more flows. Just when you're ready, find down dog. And then We've loosened up the shoulder joints, right? So it might be easier to sink into them, right? Because they're a little more loose. Don't quite do that. Keep the arm muscles engaged. Keep pushing through the knuckles and the finger pads. Okay, keep your downward dog very active. Slide into plank pose. Hold it here for just a second. So it's going to be the only core pose we do here, okay? So we have to not neglect it. It's the foundation. All right, when you're ready, lower all the way down to your belly. Any back bend pose you want to do. I'm just going to bring my hands behind the back. Like I said, I've had a pinch in my shoulder blade all day. This yoga class will completely take care of that for me. And then whenever you're ready, downward facing dog. If you'd like to go further into the flow, lift your right leg up. You don't have to. You can bend the knees. Some of you might want to do one more wildling pose. Do what aligns with your intention for coming, okay? Flip out of your pose, right leg back into the sky. Step your foot to your thumb. Give me one more warrior one on this side. Both feet are planted. I can feel the entire left foot. I can feel the entire right foot on the ground. Let's bring the hands behind the back. And let's stretch the chest one more time. Then lift the arms to the sky for the extension. Notice the tailbone, right? It's kind of tucked under. Cactus arms, one more time. And then lift that back leg up. High lunge. Okay, the back knee faces the floor, front knee faces the mirror. Hands to heart center. Let's twist. Little variation. Left elbow to the outside of the knee. You can always, I'm going to modify by dropping my back knee down, okay? Left hand down, right hand up. And if you feel like playing around with your IT band stretch and your hamstrings, you can straighten that front leg. You don't have to do this. All right, slide back, downward dog. You have one or two more floats. This might be your last one. Go ahead and come here, float. Find a back bend that works for you. Meet me in down dog. Left leg lifts into the sky. That knee bent is a great stretch. You tend to forget it's a hamstring stretch of the right leg, maybe a wild thing pose. Leg on out. Three-legged dog. Warrior one. You're grounding before you even begin to rise. Warrior one. Cactus. Hands behind the back. Stretch. Extension. Hands at heart center. Lift that back leg up. Twist. And then elbow to outside of thigh or knee. Dropping the back knee if you need to. It's the power pose right here. Both hands to the ground, downward dog. Okay, one more flow. One more, that's it. Downward dog. Drop to hands and knees. Grab your pillow. Use a blanket if you need to put it over. If you're sweaty or have makeup on. So I'm not going to go all the way down because I have makeup on, but you're going to bring your knees wide and you're going to make it touch your inner thighs. And then you're going to lay down and just put one of your cheeks on the mat. Hands can be by the side. I'm going to grab a pillow or a blanket, towel. Okay. If that's too low for you, put the blanket underneath the pillow or maybe a block if you would like a wedge. You have an eagle. And just rest your belly, your inner thighs, your ribs, your chest, and your face on the mat. Relax your fingers. Sometimes it looks like people are clenching. We do that normally, so it's something I notice in other people. So fingers are soft, forearms are soft, elbows and shoulders. At home, if you don't have a bolster, one of these yoga bolsters, just 2 bed pillows work, stacked one on top of the other, a couple throw pillows from your couch. Go ahead and lift your head and just change the other direction. Feel your entire face rest on the neck. Let's imagine we had a crazy week. Oh wait, we probably did. Let's imagine it was Christmas this week. Okay. As much as fun we had and as much time that we enjoyed spending with our family and friends, it's now time to give back to ourselves so that we can again, tomorrow morning, start giving back to others. So, the last, 20 minutes of class is just going to be about letting go and relaxing, resetting. We'll do some stretching, and that could be as intense as you want it to be. You just need to completely let go, that's fine too. I'm going to slide up, come into an upright position. And then you can slide the pillow forward so it's in front of your knees. And then let's sit so that our right hip touches this end of the pillow. We're going to do a twist here. So I know that I'm going to need some more support on my head just because I've done this a lot. So I like to have a blanket here. So I'm in this twist. I'm only going to twist from, or going to twist, I'm only going to twist from this part of my spine, right? So I'm not going to twist that much from my low back. I start to lower my rib cage in my chest, and then if I can turn, not everyone can, but if I can turn away from the direction of my knees and toes, then I will. Okay? You can prop your block underneath your pillow if you need it higher. Oh, and then, sorry, I should have told you this. I like to also put a blanket in between my knees. So if you have a blanket under your head, I'm going to put another one by you, so you can put that between your knees. Relax your fingers, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, and neck. Get used to relaxing your body through stages. So imagine, saw this little documentary of these little babies from Asia that were crying. They took like a silky piece of material and they just slowly rolled it down the baby's face and they stopped crying. And so I imagine sometimes when I'm relaxing that's happening to me. It's a sheet of relaxation that someone is slowly sliding over. A couple more breaths in this twist. We just are doing a reclined twist on a pillow. With it in the very beginning, laying down and sitting up. Start to make your way up into an upright position and either switch your knees the other direction or move your pillow. We'll do our twist on the other side. So I like to have the pillow touching my hip because then everything that touches the pillow, you relax more. The signal to the brain to soften because it knows it has support. Remember, the neck twisting is only if you're able to. Through your upper spine, but you're relaxing on a pillow or blankets or the floor. relaxation. Maybe this time it starts in the toes, goes up the feet, bottoms and tops of the feet, into the heels, the ankles, up the calves, up the shin bones, around the knee. Learn to self-soothe. Learn to relax yourself when needed. Muscle memory. We'll take practice at first, and then one day with practice, you can just do it without thinking about it. Let's just do one more breath. Keep your forehead, eyes, and face soft as we transition to our next pose. Draw yourself up slowly. Okay. All the self-soothing work we've done, let's not waste it. Okay, you'll come into a seated posture. And then keep the pillow at the top of your mat, right? Closest to the mirror. And we're only going to do these poses just for like a minute on each. Okay, so we're going to lower down. And then I'm just going to put this underneath my neck and head. You don't have to. I have one leg up, one leg down. This is fine. If for some reason you don't like it, you can play around with putting an ankle in the block, which I will. Okay? You might not even feel anything. That's okay. That is okay. So we just have one leg lifted up a little bit, one leg down. What I want you to do is really quickly, but don't spend too much thought on it, is just notice your sacrum, that flat bone. Does it lean more to the left? Do you feel like your shoulder blades are pretty leveled out? Relax the foot that's resting on the pillow. Relax the calves, the knee, the thigh. And we're going to take the left leg and lift it up. We're going to cross it over like we're crossing our leg, and we're just going to rest it over, and it might touch the floor, it might be dangling in the sky. So we have one leg on the pillow, and then one leg over. And then whatever you feel like doing with your arms, your hands, close your eyes if you haven't closed them. Let your brain rest on the floor. Feel the chest rise. Feel it fall. This is for you. Feel your cup. Everything you need to do this week, whether it's energy or giving to others. Come out, and then you can either move the pillow or you can completely scoot your entire body over. So don't take too much energy to do this, though. Don't do fast movements, but you're going to switch legs. So one leg stays on the floor first. One leg is up. Just change the position of your arms. So for cactus, go overhead or out to a T or out to the side. And this is how you're going to work on your mobility in your shoulders by finding different positions. Open your jaw. Don't clench the back of your teeth. Try to put some space in between the back teeth and the top of the mouth and the bottom of the mouth. Soften the jawline, chin, neck and throat. detached from my instructions, from the music, from the room. Whenever you're ready, if you'd like, you can bring that leg up towards the sky just so you can cross it over and rest it. And stay here, right where you are. Come on out of the pose. Go ahead and take that pillow, kind of roll it off to the side, and then see if you can grab it, bring it closer to you, and then use it again. If you have the blanket underneath your head, move it for a second so that you're flat on the floor. We're going to do bridge pose with the pillow. Okay, so nothing's under your head, nothing's under your back yet. You'll take that pillow, slowly lift your hips up. Lift the pillow if you have a sticky mat, and slide it under your hips. So it's going to be mostly on the sacrum, a little bit on the tailbone, a little bit above the sacrum. I want you to try to straighten your legs, but if it doesn't work, I want you to do that. So your hip bones should be nice and exposed up towards the sky, right? So it's going to create space in your internal organs. So space in the digestive system, stomach. It hurts your low back when you straighten the legs. Maybe it's not. Just turn it sideways. Do more. Which is totally cool. I like it. Just bring it a little closer towards your head. Well, I like it because it's like I like when it's such a back Right. What I want you to focus on is softening the belly. Softening this hip bone. So, took some training with Roddy. It was an awesome training, but he talked a lot, and I didn't catch all of it. But I remember him saying, take these hip bones, the crest, right, the top of the hip bones, and begin to soften them towards each other, as if they're caving in towards the floor, towards the stone. And I want you to stay if you like. Maybe just another minute. I want you to finish in this pose. I want you to finish more of a neutral position. So in a minute, anywhere from now until the next 60 seconds or so, come out of the pose. Okay, so stay or come out. And when you come out, you can have the pillow under the knees, how we started, or not even use the pillow. You can have the blanket under your head or cover yourself up with your pillow. I want you now to take your time getting into the most comfortable Shavasana that you can possibly find right now. Props. Whatever's best for you. Hold. If you're using the blanket, if you don't have another blanket, I'll put one. on some eucalyptus spearmint Bath and Body lotion. And then I'll come by and I'll press down on everyone's shoulders unless your hand is on your stomach, and then I'll skip you. That helps open your shoulders up. It helps make you feel grounded. But it's supposed to mostly help you relax. Okay? So the next 5 minutes are for you to just lay as still as you can with nothing to do. If anything begins to distract you, thoughts, okay, acknowledge that thought and then move it on along. Like you're counting sheep. There's a thought. Okay, go on along. There's a thought. Eventually, the mind feels like it's an empty room. There's nothing in that room, and you're just in that room. You can't see anything. You can't feel anything. Allow yourself to float between being awake and being asleep. All about stillness. still stay in it a little bit. You can still keep your face soft, your fingers soft. You can still keep your mind kind of blank, not letting the to-do list and the expectation bombard your thoughts. Yeah. You can still stay in that place, not fully awake. Come out when you're ready, taking your time. Imagine that it took us 50 minutes to get to Shavasana, because it did. Give yourself more than 30 seconds to come out of it. Movement, a little bit, the fingers and toes, a little bit of stretching. Keeping your movements intentional. Your intention is to stay relaxed, to take you into bed to get really nice, rejuvenating night's rest.